of us adults try to check our credit regularly, right? But when was the last time you checked your child's credit? A new study says last year alone, 1 in 80 kids were a victim of identity theft. News 3's Rachel Gartner has more on how to help protect your child's identity.
Identity theft can happen to anyone.
From the time you're issued a social security number as a child, all the way through adulthood. And we've even handled cases where a deceased person's identity has been used.
Investigator with the Benton Police Department, Kyle Melvin, has specialized technical and identity theft training. According to Melvin, children are just an easy target because checking their credit isn't typically on most parents' radar.
Most commonly with children, it's not until they try to get that student loan or that auto loan, or even apply for a job, and then they realize that somebody has caused all this damage to their credit history.
Most kids have access to all kinds of technology, from cell phones to PCs, laptops to gaming. The internet is at their fingertips, and their innocence makes their identity easy prey for criminals.
Because what these criminals do, they take little bits of information they can find different places and put those together to obviously be able to commit these types of crimes.
Because unbeknownst to the child, they could be inadvertently inputting sensitive information. Melvin says that's why it's so important to have that internet talk with your child.
Make sure that they understand that, hey, we don't need to put personal information out there. And often we think about, okay, maybe that's just in a chat, but what you got to realize is your children are getting on the internet and they're creating accounts, not just through their social media, but also through different video games. So make sure that they're aware that once that information is out there, that it could get in the wrong hands and be used against them later on.
Melvin also says make sure you address chats with your child. Ask them not to create a new account without you. Warn them of social media pitfalls and spell out for them what sensitive information means. But Melvin says his best advice for parents is using a free site like Experian or Credit Karma to check your child's credit history.
If it comes back that there is one, that's certainly a red flag. No child, unless they're a teenager, should have any type of credit history.
And if you're very concerned, Melvin says there's also an option through the credit bureaus that allows a parent to temporarily freeze their child's credit.
I would recommend at least considering putting that security freeze in effect. Just don't forget years down the road that you're going to need to take that back.
Melvin says additional resources include the Illinois Attorney General's office or the Federal Trade Commission. And if you suspect something isn't right with your child's credit, contact your local PD. Reporting in Benton, Rachel Gartner, News 3.
Melvin also says parents need to keep an eye out for emails or mail with your kid's name. Another red flag is if your kid gets credit card offers in the mail. We do have more information and resources right now on WSILTV.com.